Hello folks, it's Dr. Mas from MedWell Medical. I'm going to be answering some common questions, which are your questions most likely as well, about how to boost your immune system, how to sleep better, having more energy, feeling younger, and looking younger. These are common questions that I'm asked almost every day, multiple times a day from our patients. So I'm going to go over some basics that should help you a lot if you do 20% of this methods that I'm going to go over with you. So I want you to understand that most of our bodies, they're under stress. Now, stress doesn't have to be psychological only. Stress could be chemical, could be physical, could be emotional, could be psychological. An example of a chemical stress is if you smoke every day, if you use alcohol every day. That chemically stresses your body not to function properly. Okay? Physical stress if you're in pain, chronic knee pain, chronic back pain, chronic numbness. Emotional, psychological stress is what's going to happen tomorrow. Why did this happen yesterday? Divorce, bad relationships, so on and so forth. Okay? So, combination of stress and what you don't do that you're supposed to do to your body causes problems for the body. And it affects the whole entire body. What I mean by that is you cannot have a perfect functioning thyroid with a horrible pancreas function. And vice versa. You cannot have a great brain function with stomach issues, because the neurotransmitters in your brain, they get converted to be used in your brain by your stomach. So your body works as one unit. It doesn't work system by system. When one system goes down, it takes the whole body down with it. So you need to understand that. Very important concept, because many of us, we feel, okay, well, we have a thyroid problem, I take thyroid medication and I should be fine. No, it affects the entire body. Now, as far as what you need to do to sleep better, feel better, look younger, have more energy is reducing inflammation, reducing toxicity, and improving immune response of your body. And I'm going to tell you what you need to take to accomplish that. Okay? But before I do that, very, very commonly I'm asked the following questions, which I'm going to address, and it should help you or anyone in your family who's taking medication, supplements, they're confused what they're doing, if it's working or not working. So the first thing is, when you give a supplement to a patient, I'm just going to grab this bottle, supplement to a patient, they ask if it's FDA approved or not. Because in their mind, they think if it's FDA approved, that's good. If it's not FDA approved, well, there's something wrong with it. But that's not the case. FDA only approves drugs and devices. Let me repeat. FDA only approves drugs or devices. What does that mean? That means if you have, for example, aspirin, that's a drug. FDA has to approve it. If you have a knee brace or a TENS machine for pain relief, it's a device. FDA approves it. A company cannot make their own TENS machine and sell it, or a doctor's office actually can sell it if it's not FDA approved. Okay? Now, sometimes FDA approves a drug for one thing, but it gets used for another purpose. A very common drug is aspirin. Aspirin is approved for pain relief or headache. But as you know, many cardiologists, they prescribe aspirin to their patients for thinning their blood. Okay, so that's off-label use of an FDA-approved drug. Okay, now FDA clears other stuff such as food, such as supplements. FDA clearance doesn't mean you take this food for this problem. It's just cleared to be sold. So the bottom line is FDA approval has nothing to do with supplements. Okay? There is no such a thing. Next. The next thing that you need to understand is pharmaceutical companies, they can only patent synthetic material, synthetic ingredients to be sold. If it's derived naturally, by law, pharmaceutical companies, they cannot patent it. So what does that mean? That means if there is a vitamin C, that's called a supplement, okay? This vitamin C, pharmaceutical companies cannot patent it and say Pfizer has this vitamin C and it works well. So what they do, they try to alter something that is naturally derived to unnaturally derived so they can patent it and they can give it to the doctors and the doctors provide it to the patients so the pharmaceutical companies make money. Now, this everything I say is my opinion. You can Google whatever I say. Don't believe a word I say. You can Google anything that you like. Everything I say is my opinion and the doctors who work with me in this functional medicine center. And you need to understand something else. What I'm talking about is not a cure. It's a recommendation to feel better, better sleep, feel younger, more energy, looking better, your body functioning better for overall general health and well-being. So, putting that aside, pharmaceutical companies, like for common example, is fish oil. Fish oil came to market to improve your memory, helping you getting rid of inflammation. Many of us know this already. But what happens over here now, pharmaceutical companies, they change the ingredients and deriving format of the fish oil to have synthetic material in it, called it Lavazza fish oil. Now, as an uneducated consumer, if you see a pharmaceutical fish oil or a regular fish oil, many of us may go to the fish oil that's pharmaceutical. Because why? Because it's Pfizer. For example, I'm not even sure what was the company who was behind it. Pfizer or any other company, they say, oh, that's a pharmaceutical company. Who the heck is Dr. Maz or Dr. Shahab or Dr. Belt saying this is better than this? Well, it is better, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this has synthetic material. The problem is, about a year after this fish oil came out, there was all these lawsuits against these doctors who followed the recommendation of the pharmaceutical company because they had a lot of side effects, because they had synthetic stuff. Similarly, many of you take vitamin D. Now, vitamin D, I'm going to get to this, but the bottom line is the vitamin D that is backed by a pharmaceutical company, that means it has synthetic material, that means it's approved by FDA, it doesn't even get absorbed in the body as good as D3, which is not pharmaceutical backed up. It's a good source of vitamin D. And I'm going to talk to you about that. So, pharmaceutical doesn't mean good. Now, we do science-based protocols that actually work. So what you need to understand is all vitamins are not equal. That's the next topic. All vitamins are not equal. What does that mean? That means the vitamin C from this company, it's different than vitamin C from this other company. All vitamin C's are not equal. Okay, so vitamin C, the best source of vitamin C, I'm going to talk about it later on, is a liposomal vitamin C. But you need to understand there is a difference how it's derived. Usually, the cost has something to do with it. More expensive, usually it's better. Okay, so you need to understand there is a difference between a $3 bottle for 200 pills of vitamin C than a $75 bottle. Okay, so, and that's how it's derived. The next thing is, this is very important, commonly asked, commonly discussed with the patient, which from now on, any patient asks me these questions, I'm going to send them this video. Okay, because I go over and over with patients this information. Drugs versus supplements. You need to listen and listen carefully, because drugs, unfortunately, we are pre-programmed in our mind that you have a problem, then it becomes a chronic problem, then you go to a doctor, the doctor prescribes or manages your condition, okay, and gives you pills. So you get sick, you're healthy, then you get sick, then you go to a doctor, then you get pill for that problem. That's what the drugs do, okay? Supplements, the exact opposite. You are healthy, you take it to stay healthy so you don't get sick. So that is why your body needs to take supplement. So let me repeat this. This is very important. You don't have a choice. You do not have a choice. Your body needs supplements to keep functioning properly, because every day you get one day older than the day before. It's like, for example, your car needs gasoline to survive, to take you from point A to point B. Now, regardless if you keep your car in the garage, you still need the gasoline. Outside, you need the gasoline. You can put a winter cover on it. You still need the gasoline to take you from point A to point B. That's what your body needs. Your body needs supplement to survive. Okay? Next. So don't say, well, you know what? I eat healthy. I don't need supplements. Doesn't work that way. Because of two reasons. Reason number one is, let's talk about vitamin C. Vitamin C, your body needs it to survive. Actually, we are the only mammals in this planet that we don't make our own vitamin C. We need to get it from an outside source. So we all need vitamin C. Now, what's important for you to know, the vitamin C that is an orange, like for example, I give a patient to take vitamin C. The patient says, well, Dr. Maz, I have an orange every day. And there's two problems with that though. The problem number one is you need to take 17 oranges every day to take the 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C that I think it's necessary for you. The second reason is the vitamin C that you get from orange, it's not going to be as easily absorbed in your body as the pill, that's liposomal vitamin C, that is getting absorbed in your body properly. Because most of you have a horrible gut function, or IBS, or leaky gut, or inflammation, or bloatingness, so on and so forth. So it doesn't matter what you eat. What matters is what you absorb. It doesn't matter what goes in your mouth. What matters is what gets digested properly. Okay? So you need to understand that. And the third reason is orange has a lot of sugar. You want to give yourself a lot of vitamin C but die of diabetes, or make your diabetes worse, or become pre-diabetic? So you need vitamin C. It's vitamin C that you get absorbed in your body properly. Okay? The next thing is that you need to understand, most of you that comes here for autoimmune problem, diabetes, thyroid, Crohn's, IBS, any chronic problem, one of the biggest problem that I see with you as a patient, with your doctor as our patient's doctor, is you go to organ-based doctors. What does that mean? That means you go to a thyroid doctor, checks your thyroid gland. That is, if they check all the correct markers, because most of them, they just check TSH, and that's not enough. There's 7 different markers that you need to check within thyroid, which doesn't show on TSH. Okay? So you go to a thyroid doctor. The thyroid doctor says you have to take this pill to regulate your thyroid. So what happens? You take this pill. How often you need to take it? Every day. How long do you need to take it? Rest of your life. Well, that's not the cure to me. And then what happens? Your thyroid gland gets weaker and weaker, and you need more and more pills because your thyroid is not going to even work. So it gets weaker. Okay? It's like, for example, sitting on a couch. That doesn't mean after 4 hours when you get up, you have a lot of energy because you didn't use it. So your body needs to be used. So what happens? Medical model, they're organ-based, okay? The doctors who provide vitamins, supplements, nutritional education, nutritional information, and foods that you need to take and foods that you don't need to take and you need to avoid, those are function-based doctor. The difference is function-based doctor, which is most of you as a patient, when you come here, we are function-based doctor. We treat you as one body, as one organ, the whole body. And that body has to function properly, because when you have a thyroid problem or a diabetes, it affects every cell in your body. So when you have a diabetes, when you have thyroid problem, when you have autoimmune condition, it affects every cell in your entire body, including brain, thyroid, pancreas, spleen, kidneys, bladder function, pain, weakness, tired, can't sleep well, okay, low energy, all of that, okay? So you need to go to a functional based doctor. Next thing, unfortunately, well, fortunately, it is the way it is. Medical model, don't get me wrong, medicine is the best thing ever created in the face of planet to keep people healthy. But the problem is, medical approach is really good for acute problems. Massive heart attack, broken bone. But when it comes to chronic problems, it's just a pill after a pill after a pill for a long time. So I'm talking in general to keep yourself having more energy, better sleep, feeling better, feeling younger, being able to play with your children, grandchildren, be active. You need to be functionally well. Okay, so the reason I said this is because when you have an issue, you go to a medical physician, usually they diagnose you and they give you a pill or an injection, okay? But these supplements that I'm about to tell you is they work synergistically. They work together. So this is very important. I say that to many patients. Mary comes to this office, needs an individual-based evaluation and plan of care. John comes to the office, another individual type of assessment and plan of care. They're not the same, they're individualized. So Mary's condition would be Mary's condition, and it works, and all the supplements that we give this Mary would be synergistically working to make her function better. So that's why it's usually 3, 4, 5 different supplements, and they work together. And we would rather you not to pick and choose what you want because you don't get results. Okay, so supplement, they work synergistically. Okay, very important. You take the right supplement at the right time with the right dosage prescribed by the right functional medicine doctor to get results. Okay, the next thing is we buy our pharmaceutical grade supplements from reputable companies that I have actually visited some, because I know they work and they work well. And most of the supplements, us or our staff or physicians, they take it because they're good supplements. Okay. Next point, very important. I'm asked, Dr. Maz or Dr. Belt or Dr. Shahab, by taking these supplements, will I cure my thyroid problem or low energy, so on and so forth? And the answer is no. These supplements, they are not a cure. And frankly, I don't think you're even looking for a cure of your thyroid, because most of the time when you have a thyroid problem, the cause is somewhere else in the body. Usually when we fix somebody's stomach, their thyroid function gets better. I don't want to get to that topic yet. So this is not cure. This is what your body needs to stay healthy. Okay? So you need to take it. You don't have a choice. Okay? You could put the best type of a gasoline in your car, you still need to do the oil change. Your car needs new oil every 10,000 miles. Well, your body needs supplements every day to stay healthy, feeling good. Okay, next thing, very important, difference between drugs and supplements. With drugs, it says you are sick, you need to take 2 pills in the morning. With supplements, when it says, for example, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, this doesn't mean you get sick, then you start taking vitamin C 1,000 milligrams. This means you take 1,000 milligrams every day so you don't get sick. And if you get sick, you have to up the dose so your body fights and help your immune system to get back to where it is supposed to be. So you can double dose, triple dose based on a doctor's recommendation to get to the point that you want to be. Okay, so these are a few pointers about drugs versus supplements, so on and so forth. Now, you guys keep asking me what supplements I need to take to feel better and what do I need to do. So first is lower your chemical stress, emotional stress, and physical stress. Second, you need to decrease inflammation, decrease toxicity, and improve your immune response of your organs and systems to outside invaders. Okay, so you need to decrease inflammation, decrease toxicity, improve immune response. First and foremost, vitamin D. Vitamin D is very important because most of the patients that we test are low in vitamin D. Okay? You need to take, generally speaking, 5,000 to 10,000 international units every day. This is published study. It shows that it helps the immune system of the body plus 80 different other systems of the body. Okay, 5,000 to 10,000 international units. You need to understand something else. I have a big problem with, for example, the lab ranges. Vitamin D, they say 30 to 100 is normal. So that means if you're 50 years old, you're 31 versus another 50 years old that's 99. They're both considered normal. You need to understand, normal versus not normal, this is designed for sick people. It is not designed for healthy people to stay healthy. You follow me? So, if you're 29, that means you're clinically low vitamin D. That's why you feel miserable. Just to let you know, if you have had patients, they were less than 5. So they could barely walk from the door to the office to be examined. Okay? So, we don't want you to get to that stage, although you may be, because if you have problems sleeping, have low energy, doesn't feel good, there's a good chance you're low in vitamin D and you need to get tested. You follow me? Now, functional ranges, they're a lot narrower. I mean, I like to see patients from 60 to 85 as opposed to 30 to 100. 60 to 85 seems to be a good range for vitamin D. So if you're low, we give you more vitamin D and it will help you. If you're 30, 40, 50, we still give it to you to bring you to 70s or low 80s. Okay? Very important to know. The vitamin D that you need to take is vitamin D3, not the synthetic D2. You need vitamin D3. Next vitamin is B complex with all other B vitamins. Very important. Many of us, more than you think, we cannot absorb vitamin B as good as we should be able to. So number one, you need to get a good source of vitamin B. Number two, you need to get methylated vitamin B, which in plain English means a vitamin B that your body can absorb. If it's not methylated, your body will not absorb. So you're putting money down the tube, down the drain. And that's why you feel miserable. Just to let you know, many of our patients, they come here with a bag of vitamins and they still feel miserable. They still have an autoimmune problem. They still have skin psoriasis. They still have diabetes. They still have thyroid problem because they take the wrong vitamin B or wrong vitamins, wrong dosage from the wrong company, and they get more stressed because they cannot fix themselves. And that's why they come here. Okay? So, vitamin B, you should use an active vitamin B that's methylated. I personally, based on individual needs, double the dose of vitamin B because it's water soluble and you get rid of it. The excess of it, get rid of it, and your body is so thirsty for it. Okay? Next is vitamin C. Vitamin C is, I don't know, for 3,000 years, it's proven to be antiviral, antibacterial, helps immune system, anti-inflammatory, lowers the inflammation in the body almost the same day that you take it. That is why it is used in the hospitals now. Isn't that a fantastic news? Finally, doctors are giving vitamins to patients for massive acute COVID-19 problems. I mean, this is the best news I've ever heard during the past several months. Hospitals, they're admitting, let's give vitamin, okay, to bring back immunity. That's good. So the best source of vitamin C is liposomal vitamin C because when it goes in the body, if it doesn't get absorbed, doesn't do good. It penetrates through the cell membrane, goes to mitochondria and starts working. So that's why it boosts immunity. And like I said, we are the only mammals that do not produce our own vitamin C, and we need an outside source to help us get that. The next thing is zinc. Zinc, especially for immune system, it's good, especially during this COVID-19 situation, because like I said, everything I say is my opinion, okay? But the fact of the matter is that the medication that they give you, the hydrochloroquine that they give you, it will not work as effectively with zinc, without zinc than with zinc. So the reason you need to take zinc because it opens the cells and it makes sure the medication goes in to have the antiviral properties. And zinc, we all know it's good for immune system, but you need to be careful with zinc because if you take too much zinc, you're going to have toxicity because zinc is a heavy metal. Okay, so you need to check that. Next, one of my favorites, it's turmeric. Now, turmeric it's a big buzzword these days that it's good for inflammation, get rid of inflammation. But then you need to understand the powder that you put on your food, it's not enough. And it will never be enough. So if you put the triple amounts, if the whole meal is yellow, it still is not enough because it doesn't get digested well. So you need to get a turmeric supplement. I should say turmeric-based supplement because turmeric has to have other amino acids and other factors. I don't want to get into that, like a specific black pepper with the turmeric, so on and so forth, as a one supplement that prefer to be liquid that gets absorbed and works almost instantaneously in the body. The one I recommend is Tumero Active from Apex Energetics. You have 5 cc a day. Many of my patients are on it. My family members are on it, and we truly love it and we feel the difference. In fact, it works so well to get rid of toxicity and inflammation that some of my patients, they did Botox. They had lip injection, and it took that away because it works so well to get rid of foreign invaders, synthetic crap in the body, okay, and getting rid of inflammation. So it takes Botox away. So that's how it works well, okay? So if you do Botox, if you do lip injections, if you do facial fillers, don't take Tumero Active because it's going to be wasted. Or don't do that and do this. So that's why it works, and it works really well. Next, very important, which is something that is usually not looked at, is your gut function. In middle school or high school, we all learned 80% of your 80% of your immune system comes from your gut. And that is a true statement. It's maybe even more. 80% of your immune system comes from your gut. And they said that, 100 years ago. And it's a 100% correct statement. So you gotta fix the gut. If you go to a thyroid doctor, you don't fix your gut, you're gonna be on medication for every day for the rest of your life, obviously, or diabetes, okay? So you need to fix your gut. How are you gonna fix your gut? Get rid of inflammation, get rid of toxicity, boost immune response. So you are going to take digestive enzymes to digest the food. You're going to take probiotics to replace the bad bacteria that have been developing for years, and that's why you have a bad digestion. So you have to take the right digestive enzymes, right type of probiotics at the right time. That is totally individualized. You may have a carbohydrate digestion issue, you may have a fat digestive issue, you may have a protein digestion issue, you may have all. That I need to see you. Or you need to go to a doctor who's a functional medicine doctor to assess you and give you the right digestive enzymes. With your first bite of a meal, you need to take the digestive enzyme, not after the meal. Probiotics usually start after a month or so. We have had children with attention deficit disorder. on Adderall, on different pills. This helped them. Okay? So it could be a digestive issue. Now, next is something that's kind of new to functional medicine doctors and other doctors. Not too many people talk about it, is silver. This has been one of my favorite supplements for immune support that I give to patients because it's antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal properties. Okay? So what this means that it doesn't mean the silver that you used to make, in your garage, or silver coins, or not that silver. 100% pure ionic silver is what I'm talking about. Okay? Think about it. When a baby is born, there's all this stuff in the baby's eyes. What do they put in the baby's eyes? The baby is 3 hours old. They put silver. Okay? If you have a cut on your forearm, they have Band-Aids. The Band-Aids has silver, or it says Band-Aid with silver. You put it on the cut to get healing faster because it's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral properties. Now, there are other supplements. It really depends. Most of our thyroid patients, they go on selenium. They go on fish oil as well. Okay? So what I mentioned to you, they're generally good for starters to start taking it. Synergistically, it works well. If you have any questions, you can email us at drmaz@medwellnj.com or call the office 201-266-5000. I hope this information was helpful and you enjoyed this Facebook Live. Any comments, put it below. Make sure you share this video if you feel other people